Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. Today what I do have in it is Fortnite, but this time around it is a new game mode called Fortnite Ballistic. It is essentially a 5 versus 5 game, a little bit like Valorant and Counter-Strike, but inside Fortnite. So I decided to take this for a spin. I decided to use DX12 and not DX11, since DX12 now can compile shaders much more efficiently, so we have much less stuttering than we had before. So, well, good news. This is because Fortnite is using its latest version of Unreal, and it does pre-compile shaders at the beginning of the match, and compiles shaders asynchronously through the rest of the match. So I decided to try out the game in multiple different settings. I stick up to 1080p. I haven't tested out 1440p or 4K, and I have used TSR upscaling in all the settings in its quality mode. So basically in all the settings that I did play the game, I'm upscaling from 720p to 1080p using TSR. Alright, which is the temporal super resolution or something like that from Unreal, which does a pretty good job in most occasions, which I will explain when it does not. So 1080p in most settings, it looks horrible. You get no shadows, the lighting is entirely broken. I mean, it looks like a mobile game at these settings, and obviously it does run very well. It could be running much better though, but it is running at around 130 frames per second, 140. It might drop down to 100 or even 90 in very special occasions, but I mean, most of the gameplay, it will be above 120 frames per second. Alright, so that's what you can expect. Now things starts to be much more interesting as soon as you move on to, for example, median settings, because as soon as you move on to median settings, you start to have stuff like ambient occlusion, like screen space reflections, shadows. So lighting seems, you know, more respectable for the game that it is. So again, TSR on its quality mode, ambient occlusion, screen space, and every stuff on median. We don't get too much VRAM usage, so I think you can and you should bump up the texture quality. In case you want to play on median, you can raise the texture quality because there is a lot of VRAM to spare, even only having 4 gigabytes of VRAM. And as you can see, performance is pretty good. I mean, above 100 frames per second. It can drop to 90s or something, but yeah, it is pretty stable like this. Don't mind my gameplay, I'm just a noob. And honestly, it feels weird to play this game in first person. It feels somewhat clunky, and I don't know, it feels like the character is glued to the ground. Possibly it's more playable in the consoles with gamepads against other people using gamepads, but with mouse and keyboard, it just, I don't know, it feels weird. Alright, but as you can see, performance it is pretty good. So let's move on to other setting. Alright, so 1080p, high settings. I'm not using any Nanite or Lumen at this point. Alright, so it's just the regular high settings with no special stuff. And performance, it isn't really too much of a difference comparing to the high settings. I mean, obviously it's worse, but I mean, I'm having about 80 frames per second. I think this is my recommended way to play this game if your target is 60 frames per second mostly, because that's really what you get. You get an experience above 60. It is pretty much above 80. Alright, so it's very stable if you want to lock it down to 60. So it's pretty good. In my opinion, it runs very well. If you have a G-Sync screen or a FreeSync monitor that is compatible with the Nvidia thing, I mean, it does run really well at this. Alright, I'm just very noobish playing like this game, so yeah, but it does perform very well. As you can see, there was a stutter in there, but still it does hold on very well at the high settings, so that's pretty good. Like I said, it's my recommended way to play. At least this mode. I haven't tried the Battle Royale. I'm not really sure how it does perform. But at least the ballistic mode, yeah, it does perform really well. Oh, I killed one guy. Awesome. I don't think I will kill anyone more. I mean, 27 HP, what can I do? I don't think. Oh no. 5. Yeah, I'm dead. It's impossible. Oh. Alright. So yeah, it does play really well. So let's go for the last test. So this is basically high settings, but I'm using Nanite and I'm using Lumen. And this is where I feel like quality starts to... I mean, quality is great, don't get me wrong. But I start to see more artifacts due to the TSR and Lumen. I mean, I started to see ghosting. Probably it's because of the low frame rate. The temporal anti-aliasing can... I mean, the TSR can't really handle low frame rates, and because of that, it might create more artifacts and smearing and ghosting and stuff like that. But I mean, it does. Apart from that, it does look very good. Although what doesn't really look very good, it's really the performance. I mean, we are having 40 frames per second. This is not really the way that you want to play this game. And also another thing is that enabling Nanite and Lumen just really destroy the VRAM. So VRAM it is entirely full. RAM usage it is about 13 gigabytes of RAM. So yeah, this is not the recommended way. I just wanted to try it out and see how it does perform. And well, it's kind of a disaster, as you can see. So it is not recommended. Like I said, my recommended way to play this is just put the game on the high settings, alright? But don't enable Nanite or just don't enable Lumen and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is a multiplayer game. There are many people that will have GPUs that can enable that and having decent frame rates. But, I mean, they will certainly prefer the higher frame rate. Alright guys, so I think that's all that I want to talk about Fortnite Ballistic. I just wanted to try out the performance of the game, and I think, well, that's all that I want to talk. So thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.